Yo, what's good, peeps? Well, it's time for a review, and I'm going to quickly take a look at Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy, the Telltale series, so make sure you keep it locked. Story! Yo, when it comes to the story, you probably shouldn't be too surprised that the story is quite possibly the strongest element of any Telltale point-and-click adventure. For obvious reasons, I can't delve too deep into the story for the reasons of not wishing to spoil such a key aspect of the game that would almost defeat the point in playing the game in the first place. However, I can still say that the story is a great part of the game, and while episode 1 may be the only one available to us all at the moment, by the end of the first episode, it's made quite clear that the story is going to be entertaining, gripping, and possibly even emotional from here on out. Whether you're a massive fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy comic for many years, or you simply really enjoy the movie, there's still a lot for you to find and love in this one series of the episode. However, if you're a massive fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy, you're really going to enjoy a lot of the little nods and secrets and Easter eggs that can be found as you play throughout the game. Gameplay. Yo, moving into the gameplay, and unfortunately with the Telltale series of games, the gameplay is pretty much exactly the same as it's always been. Ever since the developers discovered the game-winning formula with the Walking Dead IP that many fans consider their favourite. Gameplay is no different from how it's always been, with the typical gameplay loop being walk around, talk to characters, make decisions and hard choices, take part in action-heavy quick-time events, and progress the story with every conversation that you take place in. With Telltale, if you've played one of their games, then you've pretty much played them all, but the story is what really keeps these games so entertaining and interesting throughout. Overall, I still think the gameplay is pretty cool, but at the same time, as I mentioned before, it's just the same formula kind of recycled for this game. Positives. Moving into the positives, and from a visual perspective, this game looks pretty impressive when you realise just how well the cell shading in the game is throughout. Believe me when I say there's a lot to love when you look at this game visually, and the comic book style of action that you get from the game only gets accentuated even more with the stunning graphical style that Telltales are known for at this point. As is a surprise to absolutely no one, the story is easily considered the game's biggest positive. Along with that comes with the writing that you're treated to. Every character in your crew has their own personality fleshed out, and all have their own little quibs, personality and whatnot that makes them the individuals that they are. Fans of the Guardians of the Galaxy comic and even the movie are going to appreciate how well written the characters are and how close they are in resemblance to the original characters that you would see in Marvel comics. When it comes to soundtrack in games, it isn't one of those things I find myself mentioning all too often, but when it's worth it, it's one of those things I can't help but mention. We all know how Star-Lord enjoys a good classical tune, and there are absolutely plenty in this one game, and that's only in the first episode. I'm very much looking forward to seeing the audio and music being developed further on throughout the series of the episodes. By any chance they're gonna be similar to the first episode, it's gonna be a great set of songs to develop the story along to. Negatives. Moving into the negatives, and I've probably already semi-mentioned this, but the biggest negative comes down to the general gameplay that you can't avoid. As someone who's played a fair amount of Telltale games over the years, the gameplay quickly starts to become relatively stale after a while, and I wouldn't be surprised if I wasn't the only one who feels like that. If you've never played a Telltale's game before, there's nothing wrong with it in the slightest, but after you play these games a certain number of times, you end up realizing just how samey the game can feel from time to time. For the time being, the decisions that you make as the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy doesn't really feel like it has that much importance or impact on the story, and leaves a bit of the worrying taste behind in one's mouth. Don't get me wrong, the story is the great part about all these games, but at the moment the illusion of my ideas having a real impact is what kind of sets this game back a little bit, along with a number of other Telltale's games that make the same sort of error. Final verdict. Overall, while Guardians of the Galaxy isn't going to make people who dislike Telltale's typical development style enjoy the game, for fans of the franchise or of Telltale's in general, they're definitely going to be in for a treat with this one. The game looks pretty impressive, the writing is great, the voice acting and music are both wonderful, and the story itself simply holds you on edge until the very next episode. By no means is this a perfect game, but in regards to the start of the series, this episode certainly manages to do its job well and warrants an easy recommendation for fans of the Telltale Games, point-and-click adventures, or even the Guardian of the Galaxy franchise itself. Anyway peeps, I hope you enjoyed this very quick urban gameplay review of this game. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments below whether you had the opportunity to play this game or you're considering buying it anytime soon. If you enjoyed this quick update or review, make sure you do hit that like button, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you've not done so before. And until next urban gameplay video, we definitely say peace out, peeps.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more cool urban gameplay videos.